Hello everybody and welcome to the Dynamic Discs Open presented by Dynamic Discs here in Emporia, Kansas. This is the second stop on the PDJ National Tour for the 2021 season. Your commentary team today is myself, Paige Shue.
And I'm Deanne Carey.
We are super excited to be here to watch the action. This is the FPO Chase Card Round 3, Back 9 at the famous Emporia Country Club. On the card today, we have Heather Young. We saw her have a pretty steady front 9. We'll see how she can handle the back 9. Maria also shredding it. She had a lot of good throws. Her putts weren't quite connecting on the front 9, so we'll see if she can correct that. For this second half, we have forehand master Sarah Hokom, team MVP. Also had a pretty steady front 9. Then rounding out this card is going to be Emily Beach, team Innova. She's a lefty who throws pretty dang far, so it's been fun to watch her. Alright, and here's your updated scorecard after the front 9. We'll see if we can get some movers and shakers and get some birdies on this back 9.
Hole 10, we have a 402-foot par 3. I feel like this might be one of the easier holes on the course. You have OB on the left and the right side again, but you're going downhill a good bit, so you really just want to throw something as straight as possible and get it down there. Maybe have a look for a birdie. If not, just an easy par.
Yeah, I feel like the far throwers can reach this hole. I know I kind of struggle a little bit, so I try to just throw something flippy and use the hill to my advantage to get as much distance as possible. We didn't quite see where Heather finished up. I'm guessing just in the middle of the fairway. Emily had a real early release, and she's pretty far out of bounds. So she crossed way up there, so she might have to have a long look to save her par.
Oh, Maria's got the turn on this one pretty good. If it'll sit down, and she goes out of bounds.
Yeah, you really got to trust the understable driver if you really want to get there, and it didn't look like she quite did that enough.
And Sarah,
that's also ending up out of bounds. Looks like Heather threw it pretty low into the ground, so she has a long up and down to save her par. That needs to sit.
And it looks like she's in bounds. She'll be able to bring that in and have a pretty easy putt, it looks like.
Here's Emily's third shot, so she went out of bounds. Looks like she made the same mistake. Pretty surprised to see her do that again. But that downhill makes that lefty shot fade out a lot quicker. Oh! Dang! Hokom trying to throw it in. She'll settle for a tap and bogey, I think. Maria's pitching up. So this is for Emily's 5.
Oh.
Man, she's all over those baskets today. Looks like Heather's the only one with a par look.
Heather connects for her par. Fun fact, there were no birdies on this hole during this round.
I'm not super surprised. It's tough. It's really tough. You really have to control the end of the flight.
Yes. It can very well go out of bounds super quick.
Pretty surprised to see such high numbers on this hole. It's a pretty routine 3 in my book. But yeah, still plenty of golf left. Okay, next up is hole 11. This is a par 3. It's 408 feet. It's a pretty tricky par 3, honestly. This sidewalk cart path that you see on the left is out of bounds. Way off to the right, dividing the fairway from the previous hole, there's an OB white line as well. So it's a pretty tight fairway. We're really just trying to throw as far as we can and hopefully have a pitch up. Some of the real far throwers can probably reach it. It is only 408 feet. That is slightly uphill. I mean, it goes downhill, but then back uphill. So it takes a lot of gusto if you want to reach the basket in one throw.
And Heather's going the wide hyzer. We didn't quite see where that one landed.
Yeah, Maria's someone I can see trying to attack the screen.
Oh, she definitely has the power to get there. Yep.
Yeah.
A little short, but she should have a good birdie look. Sarah going the wide out. Keeps it in bounds.
Emily just stabled out a little quicker than she wanted. probably in bounds. Oh, maybe not. She's right next to that flag. I'm not quite sure if she stayed in bounds.
Good upshot.
Great recovery, yeah. On courses like this, if you throw out of bounds, you really want to get up and down just to minimize your mistakes and lessen the stroke count. Heather did a floaty upshot. It didn't look like she committed super well, so she does come up quite a bit short, but barely inside the circle. It's pretty typical for Heather to bang those. So Maria has a long look at birdie here. She's taking her time.
It looks like she didn't quite give that one too much of a run.
Yeah, maybe she's laying that one up. She knows she has a good round so far.
And Heather in for her par.
Heather makes those putts look easy, but those are testers. You really have to think about those and really focus. She has great putting form, great confidence. If you're trying to become a better putter, look to Heather. She has a lot of good stuff going on there in her putting stroke. Good par from Sarah. Bogey from Maria. Maybe that was... Pretty sure she got par. But here's your updated scorecard. Couple holes into the back nine already. And this is the round right before the cut, so there's a lot of pressure going on during this round.
Yes. Hole 12, we have a 324-foot par 3. As you can tell, there's OB all lining the right side of the basket, or the fairway. That bushy tree in the middle, some people are just either throwing a hyzer right at it, letting it dump out to the left, or I haven't seen anybody really try to go for it, but I'm pretty sure that there will be some.
Oh yeah. It's if you're right-hand backhand, it's a really fun flex shot to really crank over on something overstable, but trust the stability to fade out and get that forward push to get yourself a putt. So Heather just pitching up a hyzer, just like you said, right in front of that bush. That bush is tough. It doesn't look like it's tough, but it's hard to get to the basket if you're underneath that tree.
Maria looks like she went for it and kept it a little too much to the right.
Yeah, pulled it inside. She luckily kicked out. I've thrown that same shot and stayed out of bounds, so it's really 50-50 if you hit those trees right there.
Sarah looks like she might have to do some crazy stuff to get to the basket.
Mm-hmm.
Emily throwing over the tree.
Wow. Are you serious?
And putting it inside the circle.
Y'all, that takes a lot of power.
This hill is sneakily up. This hole is sneakily uphill.
Absolutely. Hokom keeping it light on the course. Heather's going to have this pretty routine upshot. This is what most of our upshots are looking like on this hole. Just trying to pitch up.
Under the basket shot.
I'm still blown away by Emily's drive.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like pure hyzer almost the whole way up and over that bush, and she's still inside the circle. She's parked.
Oh, wow.
Not typical.
Unfortunate putt for Maria. Emily's drive. That's such a good birdie.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible.
Over that tree, too?
Yeah. Well, she taps in her birdie. Everyone up is cleaning either par or worse. So she's feeling really good about herself on that one. Which is a good recovery because, the whole 2 holes ago, she went OB twice. So
yes.
She really needed a birdie to get herself back on track.
Heather and Maria tapping in their pars. Or, I'm sorry, Maria tapping in a bogey.
Yeah, that caged putt was for par. Pretty typical. I mean, a bogey's definitely doable on this hole, especially with all the out of bounds and that tricky bush, but really great birdie from Emily. All right, hole 13 is 336 feet. It's actually a shorter basket for the women. It plays uphill and the basket's off to the left. There is OB lining that left side. You can see those white flags. And also the cart path on the right really isn't super reachable. I mean, if you really turn something over and get some air underneath, you could go OB right, but that's not really in our minds. So really just trying to throw something as far as we can, maybe give ourselves a putt, but really just trying to get a par and move on to the next hole.
She caught that tree.
Yeah, she's playing aggressive there.
She was trying to go for it.
Mm-hmm.
Heather looks like she kept it a little more to the right, but I'm pretty sure Heather's just laying up.
Yeah. breaking it down to what's manageable for her.
And that's the one thing about Heather's game that is so impressive is she just, if she knows that she can't do it, she doesn't try. She just lays it up and plays it safe.
Yeah, she's just so consistent, and that putting is really what sets her apart. Even if she shorts an upshot, she still can make a 35, 40-footer on the regular, so.
Oh, and Maria absolutely throwing it amazingly.
Beautiful. So fun to watch her throw. She's so smooth. She's going to be inside the circle.
And Sarah putting a move on it, just getting it up there safe.
So this is Emily's third, right? Because she went out. No, did she stay in bounds?
She stayed in bounds.
Okay, so she's pitching up for her par. Looks like Heather has a couple trees to contend with, but she throws smooth, perfect, right underneath the basket. It's Hokom's bread and butter right there. Just a nice pitch up forehand. This is Maria for birdie. Looks like it's about circle's edge.
And she connects. That's a good birdie.
Yeah, and that was a confident stroke. She really needed that, especially missing that putt before. She made the correction. She followed through. She was confident and well-deserved birdie. It's hard to get a 2 on this hole.
We're tapping in a bunch of pars here, it looks like.
Pretty typical pars. Really shouldn't be getting a bogey if you're one of the top players.
And here's your updated leaderboard for hole 13. Hole 14. This is a 600-foot par 4. Goes downhill. This is a pretty challenging hole. Most people are trying to just throw it as straight as possible out here into the opening to possibly get a hyzer look or just a straight look to this basket. Landing somewhere around that tree area or closer to the basket's great. You have to be careful because there is OB on the left and the right.
Ooh.
Maria looked like she just threw that one a little too low and into the ground.
Yeah, that left OB doesn't really come into play. It's a long hole, so in order to make this hole as short as possible, you really want to throw it as direct as you can, and there's all those trees and that OB on the right. So if you're trying to flex something, you could turn it over. If you happen to misrelease, you can hit one of those trees and it'll knock you down. So you can play out wider to be a little safe, but it doesn't seem like there's that much of an advantage to end a little bit more to the left.
Yes.
Because either way, it makes the hole longer, or you can be more direct and contend with a few trees.
The OB, I feel like that really comes into play is that right side, the property line over there. But it looks like the people on our card are just going to be throwing hyzers to the basket.
Second shot's pretty scary too. That fence is pretty intimidating. You really, if you want to get to the basket, you have to hang it out wide over that OB.
Yes.
So you're either playing a risky second shot and give yourself an easy putt, or play a safe second shot and have a longer look for the birdie look.
Now looks really good from Hokom. She'll be behind that tree, but she should have an easy upshot for her par. This is for birdie for Heather.
She'll have an uphill putt. The green is a little more steep than it looks. Takes a lot of if you're wanting to make a circle's edge putt from down that hill.
Such a great shot. Standstill shot from Emily. Maria just laying up for her par.
Yeah. Not bad. Par is good on this hole.
I don't think so. I mean, yeah, that totally hit the koozie.
Sarah's trying to hit the koozies. Heather tapping in for her birdie. We got to run back.
Boom. Look at that extension. She really wanted it. You could see it in her body language. Great putt for Heather.
Easy birdie from Emily.
Two birdies on this card. I feel like that's pretty good. I don't think birdies are super common on this hole.
No, it's a good birdie.
What's up, guys? Clemonade here.
My name is Zach Melton.
I'm Eric Oakley. I'm here to test out the Evader. I love this for a stable fairway driver slot that's less than a Felon, maybe a touch more than an Explorer.
And that Evader, like, it wanted to fade. Like, the fade was pretty noticeable, but it was kind of gliding the whole time.
Very straight with a little bit of finish.
This disc is already made its way into my bag.
All right, next up we have hole 15. This hole is 360 feet, placed slightly downhill, but it's a birdieable hole for us. Right now we're about to fly over an OB green or golf fairway, so really we're just trying to flex something and have it finish out left. Some of the top players can reach the basket. They really have to use the downhill to their advantage, but I know for me, I was just trying to make sure I landed safe and got up and down for my par. That is not the mistake Emily wants to be making.
And any OB on this hole, since it plays like an island hole, I believe goes to the drop zone.
Oh, yeah.
Heather swinging it out a little wider, and she should be sitting pretty good for her par.
Maria putting a good move on it, using that stability at the end to give her a little bit of a skip. She'll be at about 25, 30 feet for her birdie.
It's a good shot for Sarah, just sitting it up there.
Here's Emily from the drop zone. It's a pretty tough drop zone shot, but no problem for her. She's inside the circle, looking at bogey at best. They're probably just flicking her A2. Looks like it came up a little short.
She didn't seem like she liked that one too much.
No, I think that tailwind knocked her up shot down, so she'll have a longer look for her par. Hokom, on the other hand, makes the adjustment and is right there, no problem.
Maria's got to look for the birdie. Yeah.
Woo, great putt. And as y'all can see, Maria throws far, and that's such an advantage on this course. I mean, how many times has she been putting for birdie, for eagle? Yeah. She hasn't necessarily made them all, but she's been putting herself in really good positions.
These last few holes, she's done really good with her putting stroke.
Mm-hmm.
Emily cashing in her bogey putt.
Heather will have this, a little bit of a tester.
Good enough for Heather.
Yeah. Dead center as always. Great par for Sarah.
And this actually played as the easiest hole on the course.
Oh, okay.
And we go from the easiest hole on the course to the hardest hole on the course. Hole 16, a 262-foot par 3. It's an island hole, and just try to make it on the island.
This is definitely the signature hole here at ECC. So we always look forward to it. I don't know about you, but when I step up to this tee pad, I'm excited and also nervous as heck. So
I was very nervous this year because I aced it last year.
Yes, I was going to say, that's so awesome. What'd you ace with?
I aced with a Champion Leopard 3.
Ooh, that is so awesome. That's like a dream ace hole right here.
Yes.
It's like Maria's trying to ace herself.
And she just has the perfect shot.
Yeah, the wind was pretty low today, actually. I mean, there are a couple of high gusts, but it was pretty manageable, so it was a good day to score here at this course.
Heather swings it out pretty wide. Is she safe?
That looks safe to me. She better hurry up, though.
Oh, wow.
Hopefully that stays. So 2 safe shots so far.
Sarah, unfortunately, is going to take it from the drop zone.
Yanked that one. Just held it on a little bit. Maybe just trying to make sure she got enough distance. She might have just pulled it a little bit to the right. So she's probably disappointed. Probably not even getting that disc back.
This looks a little low from Emily. Oh, she didn't get as lucky as Heather.
Not quite enough oomph. So we got Emily and Sarah playing from the drop zone.
This is a scary drop zone.
Oh my gosh! Oh no.
What happens there? I gotta land safe?
Yes.
And I believe she can take it
I believe she can take it from there.
From the island, since she made it on the island.
Ooh.
Ooh, and that was a good run from Emily.
Yeah, that was definitely a complete misfire from Sarah. She didn't quite put enough oomph on it. That drop zone shot is pretty touchy.
Taking a double bogey.
Not happy about that, especially when her competitors are getting birdies.
Great birdie from Maria.
She's on fire for this back nine. So Heather was safe, which is awesome.
She taps in the birdie. So you saw 2 of the 3 birdies on this hole yesterday.
Who's the third?
Kona Panis.
Okay, nice. Probably forehand, and this is a good forehand hole, I think, if you have the distance. Here's your updated scorecard. All right, hole 17. This is a 690-foot par 4. So your drive, you're contending with the low ceiling. I don't know if y'all saw those branches, but we're all trying to land right about here. Then we're trying to pitch up somewhere over here. This green or slash fairway is OB, the golf fairway. So we're trying to land left of it and then pitching up over these trees to get up and down and hopefully get a par. I think it's a pretty tough par 4. I think maybe it should be a par 5, but you know, we'll see how it goes. Definitely one of the harder holes on the course. Maria plays it textbook. She keeps it low, straight.
And it barely slides out of bounds.
Never mind. I thought, it looked like that might have been a fairway, but maybe she's throwing something a little bit higher speed, so she got that skip out of bounds.
Heather swinging it wide. Should sit down in the middle of the fairway. And this hole actually only played 0.19 over par. It was
That's
the
surprising.
13th most difficult hole.
It's pretty surprising. This hole's pretty tough. The low ceiling, the OB on the left, the OB on the right, the long upshot. Hokom putting it out nice and wide, just trying to land it in the middle, using that skip to get a little bit of extra distance. So Heather had to deal with those trees, but she's just gonna pitch out there a line drive out of those trees and hopefully have a decent look to get up and down for her par.
Sarah's pitching up to what I would call the perfect landing zone.
Yeah.
To throw over.
She shot shaped that perfectly, hit her line exactly how she wanted. A little wide from Emily. Don't know if that stayed in bounds. This is Maria for her 3. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if she reached the basket from here and was able to save her par. But it's definitely going to be a pretty big pull there.
Looks like it turned over a little bit, but it is in bounds. Emily looks like she didn't keep it that wide, but I think she was just trying to throw over.
Yeah. Heather's just ripping a hyzer, using the skip. Got stopped by that tree, but I don't think it had enough gusto to get to the basket anyway, so I don't think that hindered her too much. She's going to have to pitch up and down.
Sarah gonna have a look for her birdie.
They're going with a nice high forehand. She really has to get over that bush. She goes a little bit long and left, but she had to give it a decent amount of height to get over that bush, so I'm not surprised that went long. Maria has a nice pitch up. She'll have an easy putt from there. So this is Hokom for birdie.
And she connects.
Super nose down, but she got it up in the air enough and trusted that it would fall quick enough to land in the chains. Good par from Heather. I don't know if that was a spit out or if she just hit some right side chains, but either way, unfortunately, it didn't stick. She's not too happy about that.
She'll have to settle for her bogey. Emily will have to settle for her bogey as well. Here's your updated leaderboard going into our last hole. Hole 18, 381 foot par 3. You have to throw over this water and then make it onto the safe and then just approach for your 3.
Yeah, that's a pretty long hole. Only really the top throwers can reach this. I mean, you're kind of dealing with low ceiling off the tee. You're trying to push as far as you can, but
the big throwers in the field are definitely going for the 2, but for most of us, we're just laying up for your 3.
yeah.
And I actually saw this play from Ellen Widboom on my card.
That doesn't seem fun because that next shot is still really long.
Yeah, you have an even longer shot.
But I understand. I mean, it's really scary to get it over there and have your disc fade towards that water.
It's a very long water carry. Maria just getting it up there safe. That's going to be a great shot.
I mean, Maria's a pretty far thrower, and she's still outside circle 1 by quite a bit. So this is a real long par 3 for the women. Looks like Emily's not going that safe route. She's feeling aggressive.
Oh, and she has to get through those trees. And it's inbound. She might have some tricky footing, but
yeah, and that's the mistake, to make, I guess. She was really trying to put all she could behind it to make sure she was safe, and she just pulled it a little bit high. Hokom parking that up shot. Played the whole textbook. Love to see it.
no, she's in the bush.
Caddy's doing good things for her. That's tricky. She's in a standstill. Maybe she can reach it doing that standstill, but it seems pretty tricky.
It's a pretty far throw.
Throwing a flex shot.
But
Wow.
it looks like she made it past the basket.
What in the world? She's got a bionic arm or something. That is not easy to do, y'all. Heather just pitching up a forehand, but
A little short, but
not really committed on that one. She'll have a long look to save her par. Was she running that one? Was she laying it
I
up?
think it was a little half bid.
You do not want to do half bids on these. I would recommend not doing that. But she ended up, staying pretty well inside the circle.
Great putt for par.
Not surprised there. Heather with a solid round.
There was one solo birdie on this hole,
Who was it?
and I played with her. Julie Eagle.
Okay. Did she throw far?
She throws so far.
Awesome. Did
She is a world champion ultimate player, I believe.
Oh,
So
nice.
she can launch.
Very cool to see people cross over into the
Oh, yeah.
disc golf to ultimate and ultimate to disc golf. And Maria's going to be tapping out her par. On the beautiful 18th green here at Emporia Country Club.
Emily tapping in her unfortunate bogey.
There's your scorecard after 18 holes here at round 3, the Country Club. So, like we said, there was a cut after this round, so there's a lot of moving that happened, and some people made the cut, some didn't, but here are your top 10 scores. Looks like Haley made a move up into first, but Katrina's only one back. Other than that, they're pretty much running away with it. So it'll be a battle tomorrow for the final round.
I'm excited for that.
Absolutely. So thanks to Ace Red Pro for covering the women. Thanks to Dynamic Disc for hosting this event. Thanks for tuning in, y'all. Make sure you subscribe, like. We love watching FPO players, shred the courses, so keep it up. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see y'all next time.
Awesome. We'll see you for the next round.